My boyfriend waited up until 2 a.m. for me to come back after a night out. But when I got home, I lost it and screamed in his face that he was a loser. Now my heart has shattered after hearing him sob in the bathroom. I, 29F, have a wonderful, wonderful boyfriend, 28 meters, and we live together. He had a bit of a rough time with finding work, and he started a job at the post office where he works very hard and works 40 to 60 hours a week. I'm only saying this next part because it's necessary to the situation, but I make more than he does and work less hours than him, and we're struggling with some unexpected finances right now, and it's been causing some tension between us. Before I get started, I just want to say I know I mess up, and I am the jerk here. My boyfriend is a wonderful human being who loves me and only deserves the best. Last night I went to a bar with some coworkers and I stayed out later than I should have been. Came home at 2:30. I'm pretty drunk. My boyfriend was up waiting for me and told me he was worried about me, and I asked why he stayed up, and he told me he was waiting for me, and I shouldn't be out that late on a night when I have worked the next day. I don't know why this set me off, but I got very angry and told him he had no right giving me job advice since he doesn't have a real job and can't even afford to pull his weight like a loser. He told me he thought I should go to bed and walk me over to my room and help me get my shoes and dress off. And I just got in bed and lied down to go to sleep. But the worst part was, as I was drifting off, I heard him crying in the bathroom. When I woke up this morning, he had gone to work, and now on at work hungover, which sucks. However, I have no idea what to say to him now. He should be home tonight, but I don't know what I can do at this point to let him know how sorry I am, and how much I do admire him, and was just acting out of drunken stress last night. He loves steak and potatoes, and he's also a big movie guy, so I was thinking of making him steak and potatoes and renting a movie, but I just don't know. Any advice would be appreciated. Update 5 days later. So I've been meaning to write this for 4 days, but I have just been completely wiped of all emotion bandwidth. My boyfriend is working hard at his job right now and is racking up some overtime, so I figured I'd take a moment to post it. First off, some information I left out of my prior post. I don't respond well to alcohol. I have no dependency on it, but my self-control and decision-making is really not good when I'm drunk, and I just get extremely vicious, and it brings out the absolute worst in me. On that same note, I had a group of coworkers who had been wanting to celebrate a promotion one of us got for the past 2 months, and Sunday was the first time any of us were free, so we were just going to have a Sunday afternoon shell that was going to end before 10. However, one bad decision led to another, and we all just collectively stayed until 2 a.m. with drinks. Second, I said what I did out of an annoyance upset I had with him regarding some financial decisions over the past 2 years that were now reaping the benefits of long story. That doesn't matter, because it's not about that. I'm still a little unhappy about it, and I expressed that in a very unhealthy manner. I'm so proud of him for finding a job and trying to provide for us. Now for the update, I read through the comments all afternoon, and then I wrote down a map of the things I wanted to say and waited for him to get home. Additionally, I got in contact with my old therapist, and he was able to squeeze me in for the following morning, so I called out of work the next day to meet him. My boyfriend finally came through the door, and I asked if we could talk, and he said I could, but he also had some things to say. I started by saying I had no idea what to say to express how sorry I am, except that I shouldn't have said what I said, and I love him and admire him for how hard he works. I also told him that I was going to stop drinking, and I had an appointment with my therapist the next day. I also emphasized how much I appreciated how he waited for me and helped me get to bed after I came home, and how he absolutely didn't deserve what I said. He told me that I actually covered the basis of what he was going to say. He said he was very hurt by what I said, but throughout the day he was thinking and said it was so out of character for me. He actually started to get worried. Both of his parents were alcoholics at one point in his life, but got sober, and he told me he was going to tell me I needed to quit drinking and see a therapist or anger management counselor, or else he couldn't stay in this relationship. I told him I thought that was a very fair and sensible boundary, and I would do my best to do whatever I could. Then he asked if I could be honest, and asked me if I meant what I said. I told him I was being purposely vicious, because it came from a place of frustration, but I was intentionally trying to upset him. So I said something terrible things. He said he loved to talk to me about that place of frustration, but then wasn't the time for it. But he told me that he forgave me, and was really happy and admired that I'm taking the right steps to make things better. And we had a lovely long hug. Then I had a really emotional appointment with my therapist, and I told him everything that happened, and he helped me map out my feelings and how to express them to my boyfriend. The appointment went great, and I have another next week, but he thinks I should look into seeing a psychiatrist, because I may very well have an undiagnosed mental health condition. That's the next step, definitely. On Wednesday, I had to sit down with my boyfriend where I expressed the frustrations, and he told me my feelings were valid, and he still kicks himself. He didn't start a new job earlier too, because then his credit card debt probably wouldn't be so high. And he talked about how he's always felt like he let me down with his financial decisions, being unemployed for such long periods of time. I won't get into it any further, but we had a really productive conversation. So yeah, we're taking steps and are openly communicating with each other, and it looks like we're gonna be okay. We've been snuggling together at night, and this morning we even showered together before he went to work. I have some trust issues, so I'm still very anxious he's going to come back and be like, wait, actually, no, I don't forgive you. But he's promised me he's going to be open with how he feels, which he has been. I think we're gonna be okay.